Hi, friends, and welcome. This is Dr. Heather Dewar-Cardinal, live from Ask Dr. Heather. Super excited to be here with you today. I know that if you've been joining me or following along on some of our Facebook Lives, our goal is always to help you understand what the current healthcare questions out there are today. So I had a bunch of people actually asking me about Keto Krotch. And I said, you know what? We're going to talk about Keto Krotch on the next. However, the Keto Krotch questions and the fasting questions just tripled. Okay, so we're actually going to talk a little bit more about fasting, intermittent fasting. I'm going to have a friend of mine join me. So next time we'll be talking about Keto Krotch. I will be we'll be going to Nashville tomorrow to the HFC seminars where we're going to hear all about ketones, gut biome, cancer from the leading healthcare the healthcare leaders. Sorry, I'm looking at Pam's super cute haircut, but we'll be bringing you live information from that event. You can actually live stream it from home. I have the amazing opportunity to talk with Dr. Dominic D'Agostino Saturday at the Live It to Leave It conference with Dr. Dan Pompa.
Live It to Leave It conference with Dr. Pompa. So today we're going to talk about fasting now with our friend Pam.
Hello.
So Pam, we need to have our headsets in probably.
Oh. I just shut
So
up
thank you guys for joining.
Bluetooth. Can you hear me at all?
Let's see if this
Let's
cuts
see
back
if
on the
it cuts back on
feedback.
the feedback.
So Pam has to have her headset in.
Hang on, I'm getting it.
Awesome. So
I'll try not to hear myself.
Pam's getting her headset in. Today we're going to talk about fasting. I love what Dr. said a few weeks ago. He said fasting is the most powerful metabolic intervention that I've ever seen in all the years that I've studied medicine. That was Dr. Mercola. I'll read that again. He said fasting is the most powerful metabolic intervention I have ever experienced in all my years of studying medicine. He said there is evidence that fasting can actually prevent and reverse dementia and help clean out toxic debris. So the scientists are out there. They're studying the information as we talk, but let's forget the science for a little bit and let's talk about what's happening in your body, what you may be noticing. So I reached out to Pam because I saw she had just personally completed an 84-hour fast. So as always, check with your healthcare provider before starting doing any type of fasting. Make sure you're metabolically safely doing it, you're medically monitored. So Pam, tell us what you didn't eat or what you did.
What I did and didn't. I didn't eat anything that required chewing. How about that? I did have ketones. I had bone broth. I had a ton of water, and that is about it. I didn't do any of the keto tea this time. I did do the Mitoplex because I feel like the electrolytes are, of course, extremely important when you're fasting. And this time, I don't normally do this, but I was actually exercising because it just so happened that it was on a weekend that I was at a Rev on the Road thing. And so I was exercising pretty intensely. And that ended up making me feel a little wobbly. And so I really needed the electrolytes. So, and I have not been a good exerciser this winter. Anyway, go ahead.
Sorry, getting a little feedback. No, that's okay. I know you've done some fasting before, and I didn't know you were going to do this. So why did you decide to choose a fast last week? What was it that really sparked inside and said, you know what, I need to get some of these toxins out. It feels right for me and my body. Because some of it is timing, right? It can be around a female cycle, can be timing around real life, work and job and kids. So why did you decide to do that? And then tell us one thing that was hard for you.
I did it because I'd gotten really off track. And don't get me wrong, getting off track for me can still be keto. I have found that keto sweet treats still get me off track. I don't even have to eat a lot of them, but they make me crave carbs. They make me crave sweets. And when I get on that track, I just tend to, and I don't have to overindulge. I just have to indulge for my body to think I'm overindulging because I am insulin resistant. And I had been on that path now for, I can't even tell you how long. It's been a while. And I just didn't feel good. I definitely had gained a few pounds and my body didn't feel good. I was achy and not comfortable. I wasn't sleeping well. And it was time for a reset. It was time to get that junk out of my body and start over again.
So, with that being said, is it the first hour that's hard, the first half a day, the second day? Like, what is the hardest part? Because I can tell you, I've done a lot of fasting as well, and it's different each and every time. So, what was kind of your struggle period, their hanger period this time?
Working up to it and deciding when I was going to do it.
Yeah,
Okay, is my head
tomorrow.
in the game? Right. Well, I say it all the time. I tell people, because people ask me about fasting every time I do it. I always tell people that fasting is a head game because I'm not hungry when I fast. I'm really not hungry. It is the total head game. It's that whole just putting something in your mouth and not being hungry, just that need to put something in your mouth, that oral thing. And so it's really probably working up to it that's the hardest for me 99% of the time. And then for me, I really wanted to go beyond the 72 hours because I do a 72-hour fast every single month. And I wanted to go beyond that 72 hours. And so that was an extra little struggle of a head game. And when I got to the 72 hours, I was fine.
Awesome.
But I got to, and then I got past it, and then I did get a little hungry. And I have kind of a rule when I fast. First of all, if I approach a fast and I'm not ready for it, I don't embark on the fast. I have to be ready for it, and my head has to be in the game, as I said. And then if I'm actually in the fast and I feel hungry, really hungry, actually hungry,
Yeah.
I eat. I eat. I break the fast. So I sat there and I evaluated. Am I really hungry? Drank some water. Nope, I'm not hungry. So I kind of went through it and I got to my 72 hours, drank some water when I started to feel hungry. And then I realized I was not hungry. I was okay. I was fine drinking the water. And I thought, okay, can I get to 84 hours? I got to the 84 hours and I got hungry again. And I went, okay, I'm going to drink some more water and see if that water tides me over again. Drank a little bit more water. That time I was like, nope, I'm done this time. I
Yeah.
can't get to 4 days. I need to eat. So I ate.
That's
So
okay.
for me, it was the end.
That's no, that's actually great. And so metabolically, you and I chatted when I saw you last or saw your post last night. I said, let's just kind of what's going on. So hunger for everybody out there is the most primitive response. I heard Dr. Jason Fung, who wrote the fasting code in Las Vegas a few months ago. Problem is, the more you eat, like if you're chewing gum and eating's defining calories, the average person eats 17 times a day. Hunger goes away. Think of that for a minute. But the average person eating 17 times a day, whether it's a drink of sweet tea that has calories or gum or mint or a little bite of this, a little bite of that, you're still stimulating that hunger. Hunger will go away. If you've ever had to fast for blood work or colonoscopy, you can do it and it goes
Right.
away. But somebody said, how do you get through it? I tell people, brush your teeth, rinse your mouth out with like salty water. That'll get the taste out. Really do 5 or 6 minutes of exercise, burn through that glucose or glycogen because that's toxic for your body. It's just trying to get out. Change your surroundings. Make sure that you're super busy and occupied, like doing something, cleaning something, making jewelry. That's what Pam does. So different things to do to keep your mind off it. But hunger will go away. And what happens
Yes.
the first 24 hours is that women actually increase your human growth hormone 1,300%, men almost 2,000%. You're getting rid of that glucose and glycogen. So I get hungry the second day because I'm not as physically active as I want to be. So that second day is harder for me. And once I hit 48 hours, which the glucose and glycogen are gone, and now my body starts making new white blood cells, now I start cruising. And I actually need less ketones as the days go on. I need less bone broth because my body's now tapped into that fat. And
I lost you. I can't hear.
me.
Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me now? Okay, so what happens about that fourth day is your body actually starts making new stem cells, which are super healthy. So, as I said before, if you're jumping on late, Dr. Mercola said that fasting is the most powerful metabolic intervention he's ever come across in all of his studies of medicine. So, I love that you're doing it safely and soundly. So, you got through the 70 some plus hours, and then what happened after that? I know you got your hair cut off, which is awesome. So what happened to the scale? What happened to your joints? Because I know you've been complaining about some back pain, some joint pain, some kind of hormonal imbalances. So what happened the last couple of days since you broke your fast, you've reintroduced foods. And just for you guys joining us, there's lots of different definitions of fast. Some people will say as long as you're under 300 calories and less than 20 grams of protein, that's why you do bone broth in moderation. Some people do a dry fast only, and dry fast only actually triples the time that you would be doing a wet fast. And a wet fast would be water only, or water and some ketones and broth. So do what's right for you and metabolically right. I feel like we're very macronutrient deficient. We need the extra electrolytes. We need the extra ketone help. So I'm a big advocate of doing it with the products so your body can actually get through that and not cause more stress. Because if you're stressed and you're doing this and all you're thinking about is food, your hair is going to fall out, you're going to give in, you're going to dream of bacon and Ben and Jerry's. So I just call them tools. I love having those tools to help get you through that and really get in touch with that hunger or hanger. So what's happened to your body the last few days since you broke fast?
Right. So I broke my fast, just so you know what I broke my fast with. I broke my fast with a couple of scrambled eggs and some yummy dark leafy greens and a little bit of onion for some flavor. And that's what I broke my fast with. And, you know, instantly, every time I fast, instantly the pain in my joints goes away. Any pain that I'm having in my joints, any kind of inflammation that I'm having goes away, and I start to feel better. I even noticed, which is always has always blown my mind, if I'm having sinus issues, I might still have a runny nose, but my nose isn't stuffy the same way. So I don't have the same sinus issues, and
So
things
that,
like that.
as a detective, something you're eating is probably an allergen, because when you put it in your mouth,
Could be.
it's inflating your sinuses. So something you're eating is causing that. And I love
Okay.
egg is the number one allergy. A lot of times people say, oh, it can't be egg, it's a perfect protein. Everyone's eating egg, which I agree, it's a perfect protein. However, if you do a fast and you put it in and your nose swells up the next day, or you get kind of tired immediately afterwards, it could be an allergen for you, or chicken, or tomatoes, or something else. So
Okay.
yes,
Okay. Oh, that's
keep
good to
it,
know.
be your own detective that way. And I
Right.
know we are both women of the 80s. We're both over half a century young, right? So hormones
Yes.
play a part in some of this as well. So I love that you actually listen to your body and you mentally set that time up right, so you're in the right mental game of that. And I actually love that you exercise this time, because that helps you get that glucose and glycogen. A lot of times going into a fast, I'll have people shorting their feeding window. That's some of Dr. Jason Fung's work. Shorten that feeding window to maybe 4 or 6 hours, 3 or 4 days before, so your stomach starts to shrink a little bit and you get
Hmm.
used to not eating, 12 to 14 hours a day. And so once you had the eggs and the greens and stuff, then what does your normal day look like now? Like, what are you going to do between now and the next fast slash reboot reset?
So my normal days right now are this. I am eating in an 8-hour window and fasting for 16 hours. And so I had my breakfast around 9 o'clock. I'll have my dinner around 5 tonight, and then I'm done for the day. No snacking in between, and I'm done. And funny enough, and I know this isn't going to happen every day, but overnight, actually, since I quit my fast, I've taken off another 2 pounds, which I've never had happen before. But I'm trying to, because I've been at a standstill now, as you know, for what, 2 years.
Yeah, but
I lost that
I
90 pounds.
90 pounds and
90 pounds.
going and letting your body acclimate to that 90 pounds is actually very healthy than going 20, 30, 20, 30. So celebrate that. I know you keep saying
Right.
that, celebrate the things that you're doing and what your body's doing, because Father Tom, the clock keeps going on, right?
Right.
It's happening, but actually you're actually reversing that. So if you've been there for 2 years, it actually means you anti-aged yourself. So celebrate those little wins. I hate when people say, oh, I haven't. I'm like, but you have. You didn't go back. You didn't yo-yo. Because I remember you're
Right.
25 pounds. Like, Pam, tell people, you're like, no, I've done this before. 30 pounds. Tell people, Pam, nope, I've done it before. And you're like, it's never about the scale. It's about living life at a higher activity level. It's about,
Right.
traveling, enjoying your family, and never about what the scale says. But for you, I think this big win is getting that next plateau. So now, metabolically, you're going to help your hormones balance out just by eating healthier and practicing what you're doing.
Right. Right. I agree 100%. And so, if I get some scale wins too, that's awesome. But I agree 100%. And I do think it's a huge win that for 2 years I've been able to maintain. That's been huge for me. I've never been able to maintain like that. And I've definitely not been perfect for 2 years. I have gone more low carb for sure. I have not been keto 100% this last 2 years. So for me, that is like beyond huge, actually. So,
And I love doing a fast like you did to help kind of break that plateau. And I have a really good video. People are asking questions down here. Helping breaking stalls or plateau is exactly what I'm asking Pam. Just start being a detective. Write down what you're eating, how it makes
Right.
you feel. Could you have a hidden food allergy? Ditch the dairy. We know it's estrogenic. Forget the fat bombs. And that's what we do in our 10-day keto kickstart is we don't snack. We even know people like want the fat bombs, the keto bread, the love baking and cooking with you. We just cut it out for the first 10 days.
Right.
We don't do any special treat. It's veggies, it's whole food, it's locally grown stuff, and nuts and seeds. So in that time window, so it's all just keep repeating, and then you get big wins.
Well, and I want to mention too that since I've quit this fast, since I finished this fast, and I'm doing the intermittent fasting, I am craving nothing except the veggies and the good stuff, honestly. And I'm not kidding at all. I am not craving anything. I have stuff sitting right here in my car, and I do this really intentionally. I know you're going to laugh at me when I show you this, Dr. Heather.
Don't have it near you.
Well, but see, for me, this is okay. I've had this in here for a month.
I don't want that either.
And it's just Airheads. It's a piece of candy.
Yeah.
But I'll eat a piece if I want it. But it's sitting right here. It's not convenient for me because it's sitting in my car when I'm in my house or I'm at work. And I might be sitting there watching TV at night. I'm not going to go out to my car and get it. I won't. That's not how I operate. If it's in my house and it's convenient, I might go get it. But
yeah, we're lazy snackers.
I'm sorry.
I said
I'm a lazy snacker.
Right.
But I'm not even
get it.
But I'm not even honestly a snacker, to be honest. This was something I was craving a month ago, and I got it, and I ate a few pieces, and I put it in here because I didn't want it convenient, and so it's still sitting there. Eventually, I'll throw it away because it's going to go bad because I'm not eating it, and I'm not craving it. Even knowing it's sitting right there, I don't care.
It's got all the toxic food colorings and all those artificial crap. Throw it away. I know you're sitting in your car. I know your roof is open. Throw that out. Don't litter, but get rid of that. So, yeah,
I know.
Up here, if you have one tip that you could share with people, what would that? And just super something to help people get motivated. What's that one tip that you would give someone?
For fasting or just in general?
We're talking about fasting. We were going to talk about Keto Krotch. We'll talk about another time, but we're talking about fasting today. So what is one tip you can give somebody who may be struggling or can't commit to tomorrow's going to be there, that Groundhog Day? Oh, tomorrow. Okay, I'll do it then. And like, they just can't seem to put that foot out there. Like, give them one tip.
Just start your day one. Everything has a day one. Get your day one in. If you can do a 12-hour fast, start with that. If you can get an 8-hour fast, start with that. Start with something that is doable for you and build from there. And then that's all you can do. Start with what you can do and just keep building. And you'll find that it works.
Like Pam said, every beginner is a winner. You just have to do that. And, I love the saying that Josh Collins says, the retired veteran Josh Collins from Operation Torrent, connection is the cure. Get with somebody. I did an extended fast up at the cabin, and I had a couple people on standby, like, I'm going to call you when I start to feel like I want to go for something. I had cleaned out the fridge, but I had safety stuff like tuna and salmon and sardines if I needed food. But, I had those people online. I did blood work before I did an extended fast. But you actually did it right. What the current research is saying is after 4 or 5 days, when you're making new red blood cells, you're making new stem cells, you do want to refeed them, not with Airheads, but with greens and eggs, and healthy proteins and healthy fats. So you did an excellent job with that. So thank you for sharing your story with us. And I know Pam does this commission. I asked Dr. Heather, I've asked her permission. Our job or our goal is to help and inspire other people to be the best version of themselves. So Pam, you're fine if people share this out or tag a friend.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So it's Pam Martveli. It wouldn't let me tag her up above. I'll tag her down below because it'll let me do it afterwards. But I love and appreciate your passion for helping people. Thank you for reaching out and say, let's share this with these women out there and these men too, and talk about what's happening, because there's a lot of confusion. I talked last night on a call and somebody said, this word keto is everywhere. I'm like, yeah, but why aren't people doing keto above the meat counter or keto above like the vegetable section? People are doing ketos in boxes with all these foreign names on it. Go back to real whole food, eggs and things like that. Keep it simple, and then just listen to your body and stop fighting it and just listen to it and let your day roll with it. And I love it you said, I actually wrote that down on a piece of paper. Start your day one. Whatever that day one looks like, just start your day one, because every beginner is a winner. Thank you for sharing, Pam. We love and appreciate
Thank you, Dr. Heather.
And we'll be seeing you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.